Did you know that good communication is not just about knowing what to say? In fact, a lot of people don't know that there are some things that they should never say if they want to be good at communication and build good relationships with the people around them. My name is Seema, I'm your English trainer, and in today's session, I will teach you 10 things that you should never say. Why? Because if you want to be a good communicator, you have to be very careful of not saying the wrong things. So what are these wrong things? Let's take a look. I told you so. Now, you should never say this. And why is that? Let's understand. This phrase is used for making someone feel like they did the wrong thing by not listening to you. Now, think about it. People make mistakes, but I think that when people make a mistake, we think it is our right to point out the mistake and tell them that they did not listen to us and that is why they committed the mistake. Now, that's not a good thing to do. So, you may have heard people say this to you, or you may have said this to somebody else. See how much that hurt? You shouldn't have done a headstand. I told you so. So next time, let people make their own mistakes and learn from it rather than point the finger by saying, I told you so. Let's see another expression that we should never use. Grow up. Well, it's great for people to grow up and be mature, but this expression is used when you want to mock someone for their childish behavior. Guess what? Some people are a little quirky, they are a little goofy, and that's okay. But if you tell people to grow up when they are acting a little silly, you are mocking them. Don't do that because sometimes people say something like, grow up. You're past the age to be doing such silly antics. Well, one word of advice. There is no age that is young enough or old enough to be silly. So you can be silly anytime, any age, right? So let's stay away from this phrase. We'll look at another one, which is good for nothing. Well, this is a very common phrase that people use, which means that you are mocking someone for being incompetent. Let me tell you that some people or all people are good for something. No one is good for nothing because all of us have some qualities or some skills that can add value. So, don't ever say things like, I wish they weren't in our team. They're a total good for nothing. All right? This is basically not a very good phrase. It is quite derogatory in nature. I have one more for you, which is whatever, just one word, but this word is used quite increasingly these days. A phrase that is dismissive of what someone is advising you. Now, some people, they really want to help you. They really want to advise you for your own benefit. But if you're going to be all snooty and dismiss that advice, you might say, whatever. So, sometimes your mom may say, you need to study hard to get a good job. To which you may reply, whatever, if you are being dismissive of the advice that she is giving you. All right? So don't say whatever when someone gives you advice. All right, next up we've got, you're not all there, are you? It's a question, but it is a rhetoric question. A rhetoric question is a question that is asked not because you want an answer, because you feel that what you are saying is correct. Okay, so why do we use this question and why should we not use it? We should not use it because this again is a mocking way of telling someone that they are too absent-minded. It's a way of telling someone that they are a little slow in the head. And that's not a good thing for people to hear, right? You don't want to talk to people like that. So, some people say, you've been very quiet throughout the discussion. You're not all there. are you? Now, perhaps this person who was quiet in the discussion may have been stressed about something, may have been having a bad day. You cannot assume that they are not in the right mind. So don't use this phrase when talking to people because it is quite mocking in nature. All right, we have, we don't have all day. Now guess what? I'm guilty of sometimes using it because I can get a little impatient. And this phrase is a way of impatiently telling someone to hurry up. Well, guess what? When someone does things slowly, we get a little bit irked, we get a little bit angry and impatient. So, don't say this because some people need their time. So, don't say something like, let's hurry up. We don't have all day to finish this project. There are many better ways to say, to tell someone to work harder or faster. This is a more impatient way of doing that, so I would like to stay away from this, and you should do too. All right then, let's look at a bigger statement actually with a question at the end. It says, you've gotten up from the wrong side of the bed, haven't you? Now, typically, a bed has two sides. You can get up from the left side or the right side. Okay, but this phrase, when you tell someone they've gotten up from the wrong side of the bed, maybe the left side of the bed, you're telling them or you're pointing out that they are in a bad mood. Now, I'll tell you why this is a terrible idea to use this phrase. Because if someone's in a bad mood, why would you point it out? Why would you tell them the obvious? Wouldn't that make them more angry? Well, you shouldn't do that, right? Because that will just make them more angry and they will be in an even worse mood. So, don't say something like, hey, you've been yelling. You've definitely gotten up from the wrong side of the bed today, haven't you? This does nothing for the person and the situation. So stop saying it. All right, next up we've got, that's rich coming from you. Now, the phrase, that's rich, the word rich, has got nothing to do with being wealthy or with the kind of money that you have. However, this is a statement that points out someone's double standards. For those who don't know what double standards mean, it basically is giving someone advice to do something while you are doing the total opposite. All right, let me help you understand this with an example. So, you've always wanted equality, and now you're saying that you should get a government grant because you're a minority. That's really rich coming from you. So pay attention while I explain how this is a double standard. My friend, she says she wants equality, which means everybody should get something based on their merit. But now, even though she says that she wants equality, this is her standard, she's now saying that she should get a government grant because she's a minority, which means she belongs to a minority class of persons and she would like some discounts or rebates. Is that equality? She says she wants equality, but what she actually wants is something totally different. There is a clear disconnect between what she says she wants and what she actually wants. And that, my friends, is called double standards. So when people show double standards, it's not good, but try not to say that's rich coming from you. It can make them angry and it can cause the situation to become very tense. All right, so I would stay away from this word. All right, we've got another one, which is, you took your time with that. Now, this phrase is just another way of saying that you are impatient that someone's doing things slowly. So, someone has wasted your time and that's why you're very angry. Okay, so again, this expression also shows your impatience. I don't use it and I don't think any of you should. Okay, so when someone takes their time, don't say this because maybe they need that extra time. All right, so you can say he's back from the gym now. He really took his time there, didn't he? Okay, so again, a very rude statement to make, and it's a way of telling people that they've wasted your time. They probably have, but there is a better way to put that across. You don't want to say this, right? We look at another one, which is, it's a shame. Okay, why do we use this? When we are criticizing someone's decisions. I personally feel that a decision is very personal, and we don't have to criticize someone's decisions just because they're not our decisions or just because we don't think they're good. So, you don't want to say something like, you have a great career in front of you. It's a shame you're taking this decision to step down from your current role. Well, people do various things for various reasons. You should not criticize their decision and use this particular phrase. All right, well, this was the lesson on what not to say, because like I said, good communication is not only about knowing what to say, but also being mindful about what you must avoid saying. Well, drop in your comments and tell me which of these expressions you do tend to use, and tell me that you are now going to stop using them because you now know that these are expressions that sound rude and very mocking of the person you are talking to. Well, keep learning, keep practicing. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me, Seema, saying, have a nice day.